everybody. Thank you for joining me, Krista, with Imagine That Scrapbooks and Gifts for ITTV Presents Try It Out Thursdays, week number 33. And what we're doing this week is a stepped up version of distressed inking. We're going to be doing a fun technique that you do with water with the distress ink. Of course, distress inks are water reactant, which is a great feature and opens up a variety of different techniques that you can do. We're also visiting some other techniques that we've done in the past, to include our wood embellishments, so make sure you check out that ITTV, as well as our butterfly punches. Alright, but before we get started on making that card, I do need to pick a winner from last week's ITTV. And our week number 32 winner is Miss Linda McCool. If you'll please email us at imaginethatscrapbooks@yahoo.com to claim your prize. We'll make sure we get your prize out to you. And if you would like to be a winner of our ITTV Presents Try It Out Thursdays, make sure you leave a comment on this week's video. It can be left on either Facebook or on YouTube. But please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out our Monday Madnesses every Monday and our ITTV Presents Try It Out Thursdays every Thursday. Alright, let's go get started. Okay, so we've gone over the basic inking and different techniques in ITTV Try It Out Thursdays, week number 21. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do a little bit of a stepped up version of that. So the first thing we're going to do is ink our edges with our distressed ink and our blending tool. And this is just, of course, to give some color, but if you need a little bit more in depth on how to do this blending technique with the ink blending tool and the distress inks, please make sure to check out our ITTV Presents Try It Out Thursdays inking, which is week number 21. So I'm just going to kind of go through this quickly so we can actually show you the stepped up version of what we're doing. Alright, so I've got my edges here inked with my brown. We're going to add a little bit of that blue into it, so we're going to do just a few little edges. Okay, so I'm going to move that off to the side because the main part that I'm going to be working on today is this butterfly piece here. So what we're going to do is we're going to ink up our edges like we normally would, starting off the page and working on doing our basic blending technique. Make sure you get a lot of ink with doing this technique so it really will work for you. So we're going to put lots of color down. And here I am using the Vintage Photo distressed ink by Tim Holtz and Ranger. The distressed inks are a little bit different than most inks. They are pigment ink, which means they do take a little bit longer to dry, therefore being able to emboss with them. The other really neat thing about the entire, well, I say the entire, most of the entire distress line is they're water reactant, which means they are going to react with water. So, and they do all kinds of fun wicking techniques. Now, the other distress parts, it just depends on what the distress is. So now I'm just going in here with the second color, adding a little bit more. But I'm also going to add in some Stormy Sky. And I'm using the same blending tool that I was doing with my Salty Ocean because they're in the blue family. Okay, now I'm going to go back over it and just add a little bit of brown on some of the areas that I got a little too blue. Okay, so now what we're going to do with this part is I'm going to move my inks out of the way. And we're going to do a little flicking technique. What we have here is just a water bottle. I'm actually going to take the lid off and pour a little bit of it into my hand. Actually, I'm going to spray it, sorry. We have a little bit more control. We're going to squirt some in our hand and we're just going to flick it down onto there. Because I said this is water reactant, it is going to wick away where that water is to give it a really neat texture. So now what I'm going to do is just very lightly dab it up. And you can add more if you want, or you can add another layer of ink and flick it a little bit more, which is actually what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little bit more of that brown. See how it's really kind of making those water spots kind of darken up? I'm going to pull that really into the paper. Alright, now I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm not going to add any ink over it. Now it gives me two tones of that splotch look. Now you can heat this with your heat tool just to kind of dry it faster, or you can just take a cloth here and just kind of dab it up, whatever works best for you. All right, so we're gonna set that off to the side, wipe up my craft mat here. We're gonna start building our card. So what I'm gonna do here is use the opposite side of that, and I'm actually out of adhesive in this runner, so let me grab one real quick. Okay, so I'm back with some adhesive, so now we can get started again. So what I'm going to do here is just going to glue this piece. Now this is not obviously the piece that we inked. We're gonna glue it up here in this corner. Okay. Then we're gonna take our inked piece and we're gonna overlap it. Okay. And I don't ink every piece, it's just your personal preference. So if you want to ink all of them, definitely go for it. Just it's your card, do what you want to do with it, add your own personal touch. So now I'm going to add some tulle to the back of mine and have my zots here, which is how I'm going to adhere it down. Oh, if I don't tear off the back of the paper. It's just not my day with adhesive today, is it? That's okay, that's the back of our card, nobody's gonna see it. So nobody knows that little mistake's there but you and me. So we're going to just keep on going. So I'm gonna gather this tulle and I'm gonna lay it into the zot like so. I'm gonna wrap it around and attach it in the other zot. Now if you have enough to tie, definitely go for it. Or you can trim it off, which is what I'm going to do right there. And I'm going to add a couple of other zots just to keep that down. Now, like I said, this is the back of the card, so nobody's going to see it, so it really does not matter. It's a great way to hide your little mistakes or to kind of cheat and not have to use as much adhesive. So what we're going to do now is we're going to place this onto our card. But I want a little bit of dimension, so I'm going to add some foam dots to it. So let's just go ahead and grab those foam adhesives. I'm going to place those in my corners like so. Now I like using foam adhesive a lot because I like my items to be a little bit dimensional. I'm not a flat scrapbooker, so or card maker either, I guess I should say. So we're gonna add that onto there, take off the backs like so. And now we are going to add our card topper to our base. Sorry, I have a little fly friend that keeps bugging me during this video, but we'll just let him go. All right, so now we have done our inking technique here, but I'm going to add a little sentiment with this wood piece, but I don't like the fact that it's a tag, so I'm just gonna chop that right off. We're gonna go around the edges a little bit. Now, if you wanna see more with some wood embellishments or wood pieces, definitely check out ITTV Presents. Try it out Thursdays, week number 25. That entire video is dedicated to wood embellishment, so check them out there. And I like that, but I'm gonna run my brown across it just a little, just to dirty up some of that white. All right, now I'm going to be using my Beacons 3-in-1 to glue this wood piece down. So we're just going to add a nice layer of adhesive, just like so. And you don't have to cover the whole thing. You can do little swirls or dots or whatever works best for you. Just get that adhesive down. And I'm actually going to lay this over my tool like such. So we need to apply a little bit of pressure. You can set something heavy on it, whatever works best for you in order to get it to stay down. But I think this card is really pretty, but I think it still needs something. So I grabbed my butterfly punch, which we have used this in an ITTV as well, ITTV number 6. So definitely refer back to that one to see some additional samples and items using our Martha Stewart butterfly punch. So we're just gonna punch this guy out. Oops, I guess I shouldn't have probably dumped all those cutouts right there. We're going to bend our butterfly to give us a little bit of dimension. We're gonna place him onto our card. So I've got some zots here. We're gonna just grab those. We're going to place that there and then grab another one. And we're going to put him just right up there, just to give, again, a little bit more color and dimension and texture. So now I'm going to add just a few little rhinestones in them. So I have my poker picker upper, or the quick stick. we're gonna just grab some little pearls and place those in the center of the butterflies. All right, and we're almost done. Now look at that, it gave it some great dimension and texture with that fun inking technique. I love using the Distress Inks by Ranger and Tim Holtz, so make sure you come in store and check out all of the different colors. And again, on this one, if you have questions about basic inking techniques, you can check out ITTV week number 21. For more on wood, check out week number 25. And for our butterfly Martha Stewart punch, check out week number 6. All right, well, I hope you guys had fun with this stepped up version of the Distress Inks technique. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.